営業開始だ。
美しき町横浜で産声を上げて十年。目まぐるしく変化する時代の中、私たちが決して変えなかったもの、それはこだわり抜いたせんべいの味とお客様を大切に思う気持ちです。あなたの笑顔を作る企業でありたい。笑顔が一番。私たちは一番ホールディングスです。
もう止められないぜ。上がるぜ。おいおい、ゴーゴー。生まれ変わる結ばなきゃ。Let's fly high like a butterfly。
欲に溺れ罠にはまり、出しからむ罪の糸。
絡みつくかい。
金魚すくいの網のように脆い羽は涙の雫で破れてゆく。癒しとくぐもに
羽のない蝶なんて意味ない。血を這うネズミと変わりない。
心まで侵されて今さら穴だらけの羽で悔やむの。できることならもう一度この角刻みつけ飛びたいの。悲しきバタフライ、その見照らす一筋の光、妬み空を睨む。So fly
Fly like a beautiful butterfly.
Buonasera, buonasera a tutti, bentornati carissimi, bentornati e benvenuti anzi in quello che sarà il nuovo gioco per un pochino. Pubblicità Simmental, bene, bene, mi fa piacere che ci siano delle pubblicità di livello su questo canale, perfetto. Allora, perché non vedete ancora il gioco? Perché c'è un piccolissimo problema, nel senso è apparso fuori il piccolo avviso e c'è scritto una cosa che in tutta sincerità non mi aspettavo, quindi vi faccio vedere. È scritto: questo è un gioco horror. Non lo sapevo! Io non lo sapevo! Io non mi voglio cagare adesso, però scusatemi, Io non sapevo! Cioè, non me lo aspettavo, quindi adesso capiamo due cose. Noi lo giochiamo, ma con molta calma e serenità. Qualunque orrore troverai in questi spazi bui, abbi cuore e vai avanti. Non ci sono ending premature, non ci sono decisioni sbagliate. Il complessivo è dato 12,5, ok. Ci sono solo nuove prospettive e nuovi inizi. Questa è una storia di amore. Ho capito, non puoi dirmi questo. Vabbè. Eccola qua, la princessa. Allora, fammi un attimo vedere. Preferences. Ciao, facciamolo in full screen, almeno se dobbiamo cagarci facciamolo bene. Click no, visible hidden, boil effect on, bold. Facciamo tutto un po' meno, ok. Return. New game allora. Io non so assolutamente nulla di questo gioco, quindi sono proprio completamente in blind. Vediamo un po' di cosa si tratta. Dai, new game, vediamo un po'. Capitolo 1, l'eroe e la principessa.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin,
Ok.
and in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Ok. Quindi siamo su un percorso nella foresta. Alla fine del percorso c'è un cabin, cos'è? Tipo una... com'è che si chiamano? Le casette, quelle di lì. Una baita, diciamo. Mettiamo... E nella cantina di questa baita c'è una
You're
principessa.
here to slay her.
Mm.
If you don't, it will be the end.
Oh la
of the
madonna!
world.
Sono qui per ucciderla e se non lo faccio sarà la fine del mondo. Porca troia. Explore, the end of the world. Ma la fine del mondo? Di cosa stai parlando? Hai considerato che forse l'unica ragione per cui lei andrà a finire al mondo è proprio perché è inchiusa? Uccidere una principessa mi sembra abbastanza brutto però, no? Non può farlo qualcun altro. Fanculo, non lo faccio. Non è considerato che forse a me va bene che finisca il mondo? Avrò una ricompensa per fare sta cosa? Ah, ok, beh, grazie per dirmi quello che devo fare. Ok, ho sempre voluto far fuori un monarca, viva la rivoluzione. Ok. Continua silenziosamente verso la baita. O girati e vattene via. Vai, girati e vattene via.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
No. Ok, sei persistente. Andrò alla baita e ucciderò la principessa. Ah. Ok, va bene. Andrò alla baita e parlerò alla principessa. Forse la ucciderò, forse non lo farò. Vediamo. Menti. Sì, so decisamente dove sto andando. No. L'unica cosa che importa è dove non sto andando, ovvero la baita. Io non sto andando alla baita. Io, a dire il vero, a me va abbastanza bene che il mondo finisca. Io proprio... mi fa schifo l'idea di una nuova alba che sorge... Ah no, desidero la venuta di una nuova alba dopo di noi. Adesso quindi continuerò nella direzione opposta. Oppure in silenzio continuiamo a camminare via dalla baita. Vai.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
Sì.
Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it.
Bravo.
Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path
Bastardo?
also
Come?
leads to the cabin.
Allora?
How convenient.
Certo.
Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved.
Fa culo, scusami, eh. Così sono capaci tutti. Ok, ci vado. Girati di nuovo e vattene di nuovo. No, fa culo, io non te la lascio vinta.
Wasting everyone's time, aren't you?
Sì.
It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Ok. Non me ne frega niente, non ucciderò una principessa. Bene, forse tutti dovrebbero morire. È quello che si meritano per avermi lasciato qui nel bosco e avendo chiesto a me di uccidere qualcuno per loro. No, tu non mi stai ricattando a livello emotivo per fare questa cosa. Quietly continue down the path.
Your silence is deafening.
Sì.
But fine. You turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Dai.
Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
Ah, non c'è modo di combattere questa cosa, eh? Devo andare nella baita, ok. Ah sì? Beh, allora suppongo che comincerò a camminare in una direzione differente. Di nuovo, a dire il vero. Io semplicemente continuerò a camminare attraverso le terre selvagge fino a trovare una via d'uscita da questo posto, vai.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who has ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
Ok.
And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen.
Cioè?
At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves.
Ok.
But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of
Quante baite
light.
ci sono?
In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin.
Che
An
cazzo?
infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Ok.
Wait, what's going on? But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shoulder your responsibility
Sì.
because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
Bravo.
You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death.
Sì, sì, sì.
You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Yes! Capitolo 2, lo straniero.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Mm?
If you don't,
Capitolo 2,
it
ma
will
ricominciato
be
da
the end
capo.
of the world.
Ok. Esatto, ho un terribile senso di déjà vu. Aspetta, non è già successo? Ok, no. Non stai scherzando. Ehi, ha fatto finire il mondo l'altra volta, no? Chi cazzo è? Ah, bastardo. Ah, adesso faccio vedere io. Io ormai gli conosco i tuoi trucchi. Ma io sono morto. L'intero mondo è finito. Cosa sto facendo qui? Ah, questi muri non c'erano l'ultima volta. Non puoi costringermi ad andare alla baita. Menti. Sì, ok, dai, adesso ci vado. Sì, dove io assolutamente sto per uccidere la principessa. Ah, sì, ok, ci vado. Salite prosì. Vai.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this
E giustamente
seriously.
c'era
I
scritto.
am begging you. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Ok.
If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar.
Voice of the Contrarian. Ok.
Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind.
No, e se non volessi?
The cabin interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across almost the same space. But it's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense.
Ok.
The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Perfetto.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust. Or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway?
L'ultima frase non ha proprio tutti i torti, è questo Contrarian.
No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise? You can't just say that, but when everything here is so wrong. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action, save the entire world.
Ok.
And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her. Oh, you've piqued my interest. What's going to happen? if
No,
we-
non fare contraria, non fare, stai zitto.
Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm. How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind.
Però devi stare calmissimo nella
Yes,
storia.
take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard.
Ok.
Okay, I'm fine. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
You didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall. Approach the mirror, take the blade, enter the bay. Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago. And now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll find it again, and then we'll see whatever it is that you don't want us to see.
Allora, se ti piace una cosa del genere, devi... Una volta che siamo sistemati, allora ti farò giocare anche un'altra cosina. Che si chiama The Stanley Parable. Che quello proprio è l'apoteosi, proprio... Quello proprio inglese.
Take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the prince. Okay, fine, you took the knife. You really shouldn't hold it like that. Then how are we supposed to hold it? The other way, thumb at the bottom. Will look much cooler and more serious if we hold it with our thumb at the bottom. It really doesn't matter how you hold the blade, as long as you have it. Just make a choice.
Ripeto, io alla fine l'inglese che so così l'ho imparato, mica a scuola.
You switch your grip on the blade. Congratulations.
Grazie.
Yes! Isn't this so much better?
Yes!
Okay, fine. You're right. This does look a lot better. It really doesn't matter. Just get on with it and deal with the princess already. The door to the basement creaks
Madonna.
open, revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials. Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is
Hai
at
visto?
once. An odor that
E questo è solo per
is
andare in cantina,
simultaneously everything, and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing.
Mhm.
If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
No, thank you. Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to
Certo. Take the hard stair to the left, the center staircase, the soft stair to the right. Boh, prendiamo quelle a destra.
You step to the right. The path feels soft and reassuring against your feet. The stairs almost seem to cradle you as you make your way down. like they're guiding your heels from one step directly to the next. You barely have to extend any effort to descend, the stairway doing most of the work for you. You don't feel like there's any concern you might slip or tumble or lose your way.
Ok.
But the further you go, the deeper you sink in. First, it's like a lovely plush carpet, your toes digging down and barely hitting any resistance at all. But soon enough, you're fighting just to keep your knees from sinking out of sight. The softness threatens to swallow you whole, to wrest control of your body and surround you in a false ethereal bliss, pretending to save you from the cruelties of choice and
Cazzo,
consequence.
stiamo venendo inglobati nella scala.
It's slow going, but you manage to fight against the overwhelming urge to fall back into comfort and nothingness, the very struggle to continue forward consuming your every thought. You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go. Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether. Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten.
Ok. Morti?
Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Are you okay?
Salve.
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to... He's just being an ass, we remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit, try and get our bearings. She seems normal.
La sede del Rese was here. Qual è il tuo nome? Scendere qui è stato strano, come se io fossi stato proprio fatto a pezzi e rimessi insieme di nuovo. Sai cosa mi è successo? Tutto quello che so è che tu sei qui per una ragione. Sai perché sei qua giù? Apparentemente tu sei una minaccia per il mondo e sono stato mandato qui per ammazzarti. Beh, come ti chiami?
You can call me Princess, if you'd like. You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. Where there was once just one of her, there is now another.
What the fuck?
We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? Again? Have you been here before? Should we tell him? Nah, let him stew. Right, I'm telling him. Yeah, we've been here before, but we never went to the cabin. We just turned around and left until... It's hard to describe. Until the only thing we could see was the same cabin going on forever. And then you told us that the world ended and we died. And then we woke up, and I'm pretty sure you're familiar with all the rest of it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it? Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever
Certo.
thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them. If it's not already too late. You have a job to do here, and you need to do it now. Oh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
Ma...
Do you need help? Not that there's much I can do chained up like this, but I'm the only one down here. So if you need anything, I'll do my best. There must be something wrong with you. I'm the same as I was a moment ago.
She fractures again. I don't like where this is going. Neither do I. Which is why you need to slay her now before things get more complicated than they already are. How would we even do that? Where would we start? You would always start by stabbing her. Which her? Any of them. I don't know about you, but I'm sure glad we took that knife with us. I can't believe someone suggested you toss it out the window. Can you imagine? I don't think we're going to be able to put her back. Kind of hurts to think about it, doesn't it? It's like everything we say just multiplies her. It certainly looks that way, so please, for the love of everything, stop asking her questions and stop stalling. You're obviously just making things worse.
No, io continuo, voglio vedere cosa succede.
I don't know why I'm here, but there has to be a reason, right? You don't just lock a princess away in a place like this without a reason. I wish I knew what it was. But you know, right? You have to know. You're the only other person I've ever seen. Or at least the only one I can remember. Don't give me false hope. Please just end this already. One way or another, just do it.
Okay, this was fun for a bit, but we can't even really interact with her, can we? What's the point of asking questions if all we're going to get is a million answers? Can't even follow what's going on anymore. We need to get out of here. This whole place is making me itch.
I don't know what happened to you, but you look like you're in one piece now. But I understand. Sometimes I feel like I'm being pulled apart too. It's so terrifying down here. But at least now you're not alone. And I'm not alone either.
Eccolo qua.
I thought they would send something better to deal with me. If the stairs managed to chew you up, I will devour you.
Come
I
scusa?
don't remember what it was like before I was in this place. Why would I know what happened to you? You're not really cut out for this, are you? Why are you even here? We're probably stuck down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out, and barely a way in.
Non mi fa scegliere una sola, mi fa scegliere tutte e tre insieme.
Wait, that's not right. Go on. You take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions. All at once you charge forward, knife aiming to slay the princess just as you strike at her bindings and leave her to languish alone.
Ok.
Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... we can't...
Sì, non è scary, siamo comunque solo all'inizio, quindi bisogna capire se c'è...
Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating. Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all falls apart. I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead and others, they just don't fit. They just don't fit.
Oh
We can
shit.
feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable.
Che cazzo sta succedendo qua?
Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Fix us?
We should help her. I think we did this. How surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences. It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please Please.
No. Ok, è arrivato lo specchio, anche quando ho detto un achievement.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went, I don't know. The narrator is gone, I think supposed to look at the mirror.
He is. Does that mean the world ended?
È finito il mondo?
Again, what the hell are we supposed to do? You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. Again, what the hell are we supposed to do? There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. No. Don't do that.
E questo ci abbiamo da fare, non è che abbiamo
I'm
molte
begging you,
scelte.
don't do this. It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
It's you. Ah sì? No, non l'ho vista, non l'ho aperto adesso. L'ho aperto solo un pochino stamattina per battere quel cazzo di Giovanni di merda. Come proceed to the cabin?
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Sì, ma io volevo solo fare un attimo il deficiente, ho già rotto tutto. Come funziona, scusa? What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more. I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. These ones are a contradiction, a winding kaleidoscope of paths and walls. They are stretched into a shape not unlike me, but it is a shape they cannot hold. I am sorry that you met this vessel so early in your journey, but they will make for a rich and vibrant heart. Do not mourn them, for they will finally get to know themselves. How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Non hai tutti i torti.
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Ok.
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free. She is part of me, and part of me is her.
Ok.
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends? I know only that they are. You are familiar,
But you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you. I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me.
Ok.
I promise that it doesn't hurt. Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. Everything, until we meet again.
Ok. Cioè, quindi io questa roba avrei dovuto trovarla dopo numerose run, in teoria.
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold. How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated. If you need time, then I'll wait with you. You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Ma... è crashato. Ma è lui che l'ha fatto
You have
crashare?
returned to me.
Ah,
Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
ok. Ah, ok, quindi adesso praticamente puoi fare solo questo. Cioè, o lo chiudi e aspetti per sempre, oppure cerchi di andare avanti. Ah, ok, ci sta. Eh sì, perché lui te l'ha detto praticamente, cioè questa entità qua, cioè questa roba che stiamo vedendo adesso, in teoria avremmo dovuto vederla tra un bel po', cioè non subito come prima cosa, capito? Cioè praticamente adesso questa entità ci ha detto che il nostro scopo qui è offrire più prospettive, no? Cioè più punti di vista. Quindi dobbiamo continuare a giocare e rigiocare la storia per fare in modo che vengano fuori più versioni della Princess, più versioni di noi, in modo che ritornino tutti in questo uno unico e renderci liberi. Vedete, ho detto, no, fra, non me ne frega un cazzo, aspetto qua, e mi ha fatto crashare il gioco per dire, vabbè, quando sei pronto io sono qua, vieni tu, chiamami, vediamo un po' cosa fare, capito? Figo, va bene, dai, ci sto. Facciamolo.
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
Ok.
You won't.
Perfetto.
You're on a path
Eccoci
in the
qua.
woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
You can skip previously seen dialogue by hitting tab on your keyboard. Ok.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her. Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you. Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey. While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation.
Dai, forniscila.
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
Ok. Slay the Princess, Antonino
It's
si
no
chiama.
use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin
Che è una visual novel praticamente molto apprezzata da tutti. Tutti i giudizi su questo gioco erano super positivi.
Unless,
Io mi sono
of
detto,
course,
proviamolo.
you do your job and slay her. Does it? Are you a monarchist?
No.
Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress.
Allora?
Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Ma il narratore è palesemente comunista, ma scusa.
Oh, if only that were the case. But I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far. But unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off.
Ok.
Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did. Are you serious? No, you have to do it. Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
Tu che ne
I
sai?
mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right? Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it. It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Certo. Ah, va che è sparito... È sparita l'opzione di mandare tutti a fanculo e girarsi dall'altra parte, non c'è più.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
No.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
Ah,
The
questo è già
air
più
is
normale
stale
di
and
prima,
musty, and the
È già
floor
cambiata
and
la
walls
cosa.
are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement
Ok, non ci
creaks
sono
open,
neanche tutte
revealing
le
a
scale di
staircase
prima,
faintly
ok.
illuminated by an
Quindi prima avevo
unseen
visto quelle
light
cose
in the
perché il
room
mondo
below.
stava già andando completamente a puttane,
This is
perfetto.
an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of dirt filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Mhm. Hi.
Don't be a stranger. And it's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Sembra già più spavalda, di prima. No, oh!
Then drop the knife.
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Proviamo.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
Leggermente inquietante però,
We'll be
la tizia
fine.
così.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Ok, questa è la stessa cosa che ci aveva detto la seconda che era saltata fuori prima. Vuol dire che ogni volta che ripetiamo la storia troviamo una personalità della principessa diversa?
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her. Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous? Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
Questo già.
That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
Too long.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then.
No.
I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting.
Devi tagliarle il braccio?
She is. I'm sure of it.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here. That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help.
Ah!
And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
Ma?
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
Questo mi ha palesemente minacciato però, eh?
I know you think this is a fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here. It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work. If we just stay here and keep watch, no one has to die.
You're making a mistake.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way to the stairs.
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped her mask, didn't she? You can still turn around and finish the job.
Vabbè, giusto per la curiosità, continuiamo. Cioè, tanto lo sappiamo che finirà malissimo, però vediamo cosa succede se lo lasciamo qua e basta.
You'll be the death of all of us, but fine. Have it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door I'll hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
Sì, ma tutto in 5 minuti?
Doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker.
Cioè, che fammi capire, cara principessa, che cazzo è che sei stata qua per un lungo tempo, appena arrivo io in 5 minuti e spacchi tutto?
No.
Che cazzo è?
It doesn't.
Dormi,
Just
con culo.
ignore her. Maybe the banging and wailing will stop if you just don't pay attention to it. You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach.
Come previsto è finito tutto in merda.
Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills.
Vabbè, dai. Adesso.
If you'd only help me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Ad esempio.
Lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
Ah, proprio
I'd
così.
say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
Ma in realtà questo, guarda, è già il secondo reset, il secondo e terzo reset che abbiamo.
This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Perfetto, ottimo direi, no? Capitolo 2, The Nightmare. Come capitolo 2?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
No, non è vero.
If he doesn't remember what
Già la
happened,
quarta.
then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Shh. What if he hears us?
Voice of the Paranoid. Ok.
That's a very good question, little voice. What if he does hear you? Shit.
Beh.
I think you'll find yourselves very hard-pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not that it matters right now, because like I said, this is the first time we've met. Still, I'd rather not get off on the wrong foot. We've a world to save after all. We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Dai, adesso narratore, non concentriamoci qui su ogni singolo dettaglio.
We couldn't trust either of you, and as far as I'm concerned, we still can't. All we did was lock her away. And how'd that work out for you? No comment. Well then, congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And your solution is to send us back in there. Do you want us to slay the princess, or do you want the princess to slay us? Obviously, I want you to slay her. One of you poses a threat to the world, and the other doesn't. Anyways, I believe your other question was something along the lines of, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess, and now everyone's right back where they started. Sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Speak for yourself. From my perspective, there were plenty of consequences. I'm never going to forget the way she just made us stop working. And that's only scratching the surface. If what you said is true, it begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or have you found yourself in another world altogether? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
Questa è una bella domanda.
If she brought an end to everything and everyone, how are we supposed to stop her? What do you want from us? I want you to succeed. You'll find a way. You're the only one who can. Just be quick about it. Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job and save the world.
No, io devo uccidere la principessa. Io sono stato mandato per farla fuori.
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin and you'll be fine.
Perché in effetti allora la tipa lì, l'entità che abbiamo visto prima, no? Quella con tutte le braccia, ci fa che lei ci avrebbe fatto dimenticare se noi avessimo creduto che lei è capace di farlo. Quindi funziona così la principessa. Se noi crediamo che sia capace di fare qualcosa, lei diventa capace. Quindi l'autore ci dice è solo una principessa affinché noi crediamo che quella sia solo una principessa e di conseguenza quella rimane solo una principessa. Appena ci viene un piccolo tarlo di qualcosa che lei può fare, lei diventa automaticamente capace di farlo. È così che funziona?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things. Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. You can't just goad us into doing something by calling us special. It's manipulative. Why are you trying to manipulate us? I don't know, I kinda like being special.
No.
Okay, fine. Maybe you can goad him into doing something, but he's not even the one who makes the decisions here. I'm not goading you into doing anything. You already know the princess is dangerous. All I'm trying to say is that you have to be the one to deal with her. I know it doesn't seem fair, but that's just the way it is.
No, ma
And
io
for
non
what it's
mi
worth,
frega niente che sia giusto o
I know you
sbagliato,
have
voglio
it
solo
in you
sapere
to finish the
perché.
job. We don't. You saw what happened to us last time. We need to leave. I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. If you want us to stand a chance against her, we need to be armed with information. What is she really capable of? How are we supposed to stop her? Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word. He isn't telling us everything he knows because he doesn't trust us, which means that we can't trust him. Stop talking yourself in neurotic circles and just get to the cabin already. Do you see the way he keeps pushing us? We have to get out of here. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin. This is good. I was worried you might fall for his shit again, but this is good. Whatever answers there are to be found, they aren't here, and they definitely aren't there. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going? Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path... You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
What's going on? Where are we? It's finally happened, hasn't it? We finally cracked.
Ok. Ok.
You're on a path in the... Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed... Ignore him. The interior... You take the... The door... Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain. You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Ok, proviamo.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over? Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom.
Ok.
Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy. This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur.
Siamo sicuri che non
You've
sono mai
never
stato
been
così
happy
felice?
last- Hey, we're not just gonna stay here forever, right? Are we really happy? Or is he just telling us that we are? Really? Well, if you ever change your mind, just let me know.
Per adesso me
I
lo fa
guess.
crashare di nuovo?
More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. Please, shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voices, please, fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and
No! Vabbè, vabbè. Vabbè, posso salvare. Boh, salviamo. Ma... che cazzo è?
To my completion, you cannot go further astray.
Ok.
good, because I have an idea to the blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this, do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare. How astute. You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you, and you, in a sense, we'd die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? This place, I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work. That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy. If we die, you can yell at me all you want. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world?
mi sa di
An
no.
eternity of bliss? You ingrate. Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it.
Ok.
You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die.
Nice.
The end. Nice knowing you.
Capitolo 2, lo spettro.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to slay her. I can assure you that you're not dead, and to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. That's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time.
Voice of the
We'll just do it.
Cold.
Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least...
Io ce lo uccidiamo di nuovo?
Before you, she will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. She won't be a problem. The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odor of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant and the blade is your implement. It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. Like I've been saying, she's dead. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on... There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? Let's just go in. As do I. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time? You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. But it was there a second ago, and now it's gone. You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Mi sa di sì, dovremmo fare un po' di combinazioni diverse per vedere cosa succede.
The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs. The room below is nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still... Okay, she's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor. Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here?
Ghost!
Oh. Wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again, if we wanted to.
Slay the
After a moment's
princess.
hesitation, you lash out with your blade. It's like you're slashing at air. No matter how many times you stab at her, no matter how many angles you strike from, all you manage to do is interrupt her form, the skin of your hand prickling with cold as it passes through, unable to find anything solid.
You're adorable when you're confused.
But I didn't say you could touch me.
Why are you even here? Just making sure you finish the job, or what? You don't look dead, Killer.
The princess grabs your wrist, a sudden shock of cold flowing all the way up your arm, her eyes still fixed on yours as you try to squirm out of her grip.
And you don't feel dead either.
She lets go and pulls away. Your fingertips tingle painfully as the chill subsides.
I'm less interested in why you are, or how you are, and a lot more interested in what you are.
A questo punto anche io. Che cazzo siamo?
I've tried to leave on my own. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way out. I always wound up right back here. I just want to go home. I'm so cold and alone here. But you can come and go as you please, can't you? So, let me hitch a ride.
After all, you own me.
Absolutely not. Is she asking if she can possess us? She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her. Would she be able to see us if we went along with it? Now, isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with him. I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly. You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
Then I won't hitch a ride. I'm sure you'd like to know. It's a shame I won't tell you.
Beh, certo.
But it'll be easier for both of us if you just let me in. And doesn't it sound nice?
Maybe for her, but it's crowded enough in here as is.
You won't have to feel guilty anymore. If you even do feel guilt.
It could be the best way to trap her for good. Doesn't seem like it would be very easy to end the world from inside someone else's body. That is a very dangerous train of thought.
If I'm able to. But for all we know, that's not how it works. Maybe I'll wind up stuck with you for a long, 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 long time.
Do you hear the way she said that? She knows more than she's letting on. Don't let her fool you into doing something you'll regret.
Sure, why not?
That doesn't sound very reassuring. I can't believe you're even entertaining her right now. I mean, just look at her. Do you think she has good intentions for her murderer's body? Of course she doesn't.
And what? You just believed that? You killed me without giving it any thought? That's cold.
That's rich coming from her. Every time she touches us, it's like we freeze over. She's right, though, but that's neither here nor there. What's done is done. What we do from this point forward.
The only thing I've ever wanted was to leave this place. It's still the only thing I want. I don't know. Maybe I'll just fade away. Finally able to rest once I'm free from my unfinished business. Maybe I'll haunt you. It's a tough question, asking someone what she's going to do with her life.
The princess leans in close and pauses, the frigid air between you stale and unmoving.
Especially when that someone is dead.
She pulls back with a playful giggle.
I don't think most living people could answer that either. Does anyone actually know who they are or what they want? I don't know. I just wanted to leave. I still just want to leave.
It does. We're not asking you. We've heard your whole speech already.
I really don't know. I'm not lying to you. I promise. The world doesn't matter. All I remember is that I'm supposed to be there, not here. I'm just supposed to be a part of it. It's its home, I think. But what does it mean for anything to end? I ended, but I also didn't. And you ended too. But here you are. And you don't even look any different. I'm not so sure endings are real.
Yes, obviously things are strange right now. I think it's safe to say that you've seen something you shouldn't have seen. Whatever worlds you've hopped between, whatever versions of me you've met, none of that matters now. There's no changing what's already Finish? How? We already did what you told us. And now she's a ghost. You haven't tried slaying her yet this time, though, have you?
Eh sì che ci ho provato, l'ho provato prima.
And then what? And then you'll have saved the world. I think he's asking about what happens after we save the world. If that's even still an option. What do you mean, after? You already know what we mean, don't you? So why don't you go ahead and tell us? Are you going to try and lock us away in a timeless void again? Because I didn't much care for that. I'm not going to lock you anywhere. What an interesting choice of emphasis.
I don't feel very bad, but I guess I'm not dead. So you must have only mostly killed me.
Ok.
Or maybe death is only mostly real, but it's also mostly not real. I'm not sure. I'm just the one these things have happened to, not the one with all the answers, or any of the answers.
But we're not a ghost. Unless
Not
maybe
credo.
that's why the mirror disappeared. We're actually dead. Death, at least as a form of permanence, is just a concept. And clearly it's not a very useful one anymore. Maybe we should throw it out entirely. See, this is why I didn't want you to talk to her. Death is not just a concept, it is an extremely real phenomenon. Don't let... The princess glances back at the bones lying on the floor.
It's just a body. Do you believe these bones? Or do you believe me? Because those bones aren't talking to you.
She's seeing things pragmatically. We should do the same. Reality is what's in front of us, not our preconceptions of what it should.
How should I know? Why does anyone come back? Maybe I have unfinished business. All I know is there's a hole in my chest. Not the big obvious one that you put there. There's something older
Ah sì?
and deeper. A nagging reminder that I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Well, yeah, you brought a knife with you. Was I supposed to just welcome you with open arms when you obviously had stabbing on the mind? It could have, but it wasn't. You can't blame me for threatening a would-be knife-wielding murderer, especially when that would-be knife-wielding murderer became an actual knife-wielding murderer. And if I knew you were going to murder me without even knowing who I was, I wouldn't have given you the chance.
We all make mistakes.
Eh sì.
A boring question with an easy answer. Nothing. She's a ghost.
That's for me to know, and for you to wonder about. Maybe I can't do anything to you.
See?
Or maybe I can rip your heart out.
Who's to say, really?
I don't like the uncertainty here. I don't know what to do or who to trust. She might be making it hard for us to kill her body. But those bones look... Or maybe burying them would put her to rest. Don't take any piece of her outside of this cabin. Maybe you should stop looking for loopholes and... But we are trying.
Those are just bones. They aren't me. Bury them, destroy them, whatever. That dusty pile of death is just a reminder of what you've done. It's not a fix for anything.
Lady Princess Harder.
You swing at the princess once more, and once more your blade cuts.
Really?
Her voice chides from elsewhere in the room. You whirl around, finding her hovering between you and the basement stairs, looking you over with grim disappointment. She draws in close.
I was willing to let bygones be bygones, killer. I was willing to ignore everything you did to me so we could get out of here, together. All I ever wanted was to leave this place. All I ever wanted was to find a way back home. Wherever home is.
Her eyes turn from wells of sorrow to pits of wrath as she stares into you.
Aia.
I guess violence is the only language you speak.
She forces her hand into your chest, and then... Yes? Nothing happens. Are you sure about that? Something should have happened. And yet it didn't. We're fine. You can't be sure if you first hear or feel what happens next, but it is over before you can fully conceptualize what it is. A horrific splintering, the squelching of organs, the rending of tissue, an icy, numbing pain.
I'm done asking. The next time I see you, I'm taking everything I owed, starting with your body. If you won't choose to give me my freedom, I'll just have to make you give it to me.
She's real now. If she's making us dead, we should return the favor. You swing your blade towards her briefly corporeal throat. It connects. A gash widens across her neck, glowing ectoplasm leaking from the wound. But it's too little, too late. In her hand, you realize she clutches your still beating heart. It thumps unsettlingly. Did we get her? Even if we didn't, we've given her something to remember.
See you soon, killer.
afraid you'll never know. As she crushes your precious organ in her hand, everything goes dark, and you die.
Ok, adesso si ricomincia. Ok, capitolo 3, il Wraith. Ok, va bene.
You're on a path in the wood, and here we go again. Off to slay her again. The deck's stacked, isn't it? We kill her, we start again. She kills us as a goddamn ghost, we start again. I'm starting to think we're being run in circles just for the sake of it. Come on, let's not give in to all that misery just yet. There's got to be a way out of this. There's got to be a right answer. Yeah, and what if there isn't? Aren't you listening to me? What if all of this was rigged from the start? That's ridiculous. There'd be no point in all this if it was just some kind of cosmic busy work. I think that's exactly what it is. The powers that be, seeing how many ways they can screw with us. Could be it's all some kind of sick joke to them. Wouldn't that get, I don't know, boring? Okay, so you've already been here. Twice even. Great. Then let me poke a few holes in your depressing little theory. Nobody here is screwing with you, and I can't imagine any scenario where you would have started over after slaying the princess. Well, we didn't have to start over. We killed ourselves. And why, pray tell, did you do that? Because you decided to foist an infinite tedium on us. That doesn't sound like me. If I'd had everything my way, you would have effortlessly slain the princess, saved the world, and been given your happy ending. The ending was the tedium. You locked us in a cabin and sent that cabin to an endless void, and then you told us we were happy. Well, were you happy?
Se siamo qua
Of course
evidentemente
we
no.
weren't happy. That's why we killed ourselves. It was awful. It was boring. It was bullshit. So you killed yourself?
Sì.
Yes. And then she killed us. Even though she was already dead. This is all fake. Okay, let's try to get back on track. You're real. The princess is real. The world is real. The people in the world are real. And the danger she poses to all of them is also, quite unfortunately, real. Whatever you did the first time, it sounds like it almost worked. So how about you give it one last try? Because killing yourself seems to undo all the good you almost managed to accomplish. All this standing around and talking is boring. Let's at least do something. Maybe we'll kill her again. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll even free her. If I had to make a wager, I'd say yes and no. That's a hedge, not a wager. I haven't met you, but you've clearly met me. It sounds to me like you're hopping between parallel realities, in which case the me you just met here is the same collection of experiences as the me you met at all of those other beginnings, but their continuity breaks the moment you say or do anything, in effect making them all separate.
Okay.
So, yes, I'm the same me, but ever since the moment we started talking, I'm different. I'm not sure how we're supposed to kill him ourselves, but he's asking for it. They've clearly all been through some harrowing experiences. Don't let their baggage influence your decisions. You have the ability to see things clearly. I suggest you use it. Then she finds a way out on her own. Ugh, of course she does. So, standing around out here is the same as us letting her out. Only we don't have to see her. That's gotta be better, right? No, it's strictly worse. But she can't kill us out here. Why would staying out of killing distance be worse if she's getting out regardless? Because it's cowardly, for starters. And because the unknown is always worse than the known. But really, all you're doing right now is weighing two considerably bad options. The only solution worth considering is slaying her, And whatever delusion is holding you back from doing that is just that, a delusion. If you already managed to enter in some other world, the only reason you'd be here is that you somehow managed to do it wrong.
Grazie, grazie.
More rules, more rhetoric. Since when is there a wrong way to slay her? I'm sick of it. Makes me want to end the world out of spite.
Non ha tutti i torti, eh?
You're making a dizzying amount of assumptions. Your perceived reality looping twice before does not mean it will continue to do so forever. Those little voices have already drawn attention to the fact that even the path is different. The world itself is at a tipping point. Know that there is always a choice. Even if you were stuck in an infinite loop, there's no reason to assume that the mere nature of the infinite would force you to make any specific choice. You do have free will, as much as things would be easier if you didn't. And you can just keep making the correct choice forever, never deviating. How convenient, everything always comes back to what you want us to do. I'm sick of him. Makes me want to end the world out of spite. On second thought, let's not kill him. Let's throw him someplace. Tell you what, I won't do that. I promise. Oh yeah, sure. I mean, he did promise. And you believed him? You continue down the path towards the cabin. It isn't long before you're steps away from your destination. I don't think you need any words of warning. I think you know what's in there, and despite your protestations, I think you know what you need to do. The more he talks, the more I'm interested in setting her free. Whatever. You don't want to listen to me? Do it then. Let her out. See what I care. It sounds like somebody's about to crack. There's obviously no point in trying to reason with you right now, especially with all these clowns offering up their useless advice. Honestly, it seems like the more I try and...
No, ho sbagliato.
Would you look at that? We won. Take it however you will. The interior of the cabin is long and dark, a single narrow hallway stretching far into the distance. Curtains billow out from tall windows on either side, obscuring the path forward, fluttering helplessly as opposing gusts of wind rush into the building, clashing and joining and driving everything forward. The only furniture of note is... That's strange. What's strange? Is it the mirror? The mirror? No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there isn't much of anything in here at all, aside from the curtains. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? Great. Something else has been taken away from us. I suppose the only way to go is forward. So forward we will go. Blade or not, it doesn't really matter,
In
does
effetti.
it?
L'ultima volta non è che ci è servito molto il coltello.
If you're asking what's at the end of the hallway, it's the way to the basement. The way to the basement? Don't you mean door? No, I didn't say door, because there isn't a door, it's just an opening. What are the odds she's waiting for us right behind it? If I were running a bullshit factory, it's what I'd do. Let me assure you that there's nothing there. Nothing is going to jump out at you, and certainly not the princess. The princess is in the basement. He can't see the mirror, the knife is gone, defying his expectations. Who the hell is calling the shots here?
Questa è una bellissima domanda.
Nobody is calling the shots, that's how reality works. You slowly make your way towards the gaping maw that awaits you. Your fraying nerves buzz with trepidation, the chill wind raising your hackles as it gently pushes you forward, towards the darkness at the end of the hallway. You can't shake the feeling that you're being watched. We've always been watched. You're watching us right now. Sometimes the feeling is just stronger than others. I feel like you're trying to put us on edge. We don't need all this anticipation, we just need this to be over. You stop as you reach the end of the hallway, I presume in front of whatever mirror isn't actually there. Here we go. You reach your arm forward into the pitch black of the opening. Nothing. It's like this place read our mind just to mess with us.
What you looking at, killer? Staring into the void? Thinking about what it'd be like to die again? I know exactly how you feel.
Shit. Where is she? You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart skips a beat, standing in muted shock for one long, frozen moment. And then she, the princess, constricts.
Certo.
Your bones snap.
Ah, minchia, pure.
Icy pain radiates up from the break, a deep cold flooding your veins as your legs, numb with the shock of it, collapse, and you collapse with them. You're met with the terrifying visage of the princess. Her hand grips your leg in a steel vice, her grin carved jagged from ear to ear, crowded with far too many long and crooked
Che tra l'altro noi siamo pure un bestio, cioè non è che siamo un umano, noi siamo una strana bestia, che cazzo siamo?
But do you know how I feel? I gave you a path to forgiveness. I gave you a chance to make things right. I thought maybe you'd seen what you've done and feel remorseful. Maybe try to make it up to me. But no, you'd rather use that knife to keep making the same mistake over and over and over. Even after I ripped your heart out, you still cut me. And for what? I didn't go anywhere. You didn't banish me. I'm right back here with you. A little better, a little worse. Well, maybe a lot worse. So, here's how this is going to go. I'm going to take your body, and I'm going to walk it out of here. And you get to watch me do it. Completely helpless. Just like you left me.
I say we let her do it. It's something different. Do we even have a choice? You always have a choice. Maybe before, but not now. There isn't a blade this time. Exactly. What choice is there if there isn't a blade? Well, unless you have any specific ideas, I think my vote's the only one that counts.
That was then. This is now. And you think that's even? How adorable. But I think you forgot about the part where you tried killing me again. If I were you, I would just want to get it over with. You lost your chance to call the shots. There's no going back to fix it now. You can either look on in horror or celebrate my freedom. But either way, you're about to become a passenger. Enough talking. We'll have plenty of time for chit-chat once this place is far behind us.
You remain pinned to the floor of the long hallway as the rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportions all wrong, limbs bent and curling, moving in ways that defy your understanding. Her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours, her neck cracking audibly as she twists to look at you from a fresh angle. Are you sure you can't do anything to help us? Can't you, manifest a rock right on top of her head? And crush you along with her? Not that I even can manifest a rock. Besides, I thought you all wanted to free the princess. Not like this. You don't even have a weapon, so I'm afraid you're out of luck, which unfortunately means that I, and the rest of the world, are out of luck too. And whose fault is it there isn't a weapon here? Yours, I assume. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Whatever you did in those previous lives of yours, you really messed up.
È pure colpa nostra
Are you
adesso.
seriously trying to blame this on us? Your vision fades as she tears open the membrane of your soul. You're awake. Eyes once again fixed on the long hallway, your vision swimming as the princess's command reverberates inside your skull. Her voice is all-encompassing. You feel wrong. It's so cramped in here. Like there's some sort of growth trying to push us all out. I know. You rise to your feet, though the pain in your ankle is blinding. Your body slumps against the wall, desperately leaning into it for support. There's another option, you know. either of them. Flip the table. That gap where the mirror was, I don't think it goes anywhere. Let's throw ourselves into the abyss. Your body, still slumped against the wall, trapped between the princess's overwhelming will and the blinding pain of your splintered ankle, takes an excruciating step towards the cabin door. The movement is stiff, your body reduced to a marionette, pulled reluctantly along by your strings. In a single moment of overwhelming willpower, you tear your body from the wall and hurl it towards the gaping abyss. Capillaries burst and muscle fibers tear as you and the princess struggle over the reins of your body, one foot planted firmly on the edge where the floor ends and the nothing begins. It's unquestionable that her reserves are greater than yours, but fortunately for you, the distance you have to cover is far shorter. Enough is enough. I'm tired of us always losing. It's just a step away. You throw everything you have against her and manage, for one brief moment, to overpower the princess's hold on your body. But that moment was all you needed. Your foot slips a few inches, and you collapse forward, the darkness swallowing you whole.
Ok.
Her thought slips through you, unheeded, as you fall, and fall, and fall. What an end. But at least it's ours. An empire of frigid nothing. I don't think this qualifies as saving the world, but at least you didn't ruin it. What happens now? But I want to know what he thinks happens now. Oh? And why is that? He's gone. But
What's happening to me?
Ok.
she's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. It's going to do something to us. I can feel it. You don't need to comfort them. Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. So, this is all going to work out. Whatever makes you happy.
Sono cresciuto addirittura.
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither? But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete. Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same. I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between. Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward. With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself. There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place together and find new horizons to discover. Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread. Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me. Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. Do not worry. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets. This one is loneliness turned to seething. She could not find her strength in others, so she found it in herself. She will make for a driven heart. Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore. My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory. There is a hurt that dwells in them, but they are not me. They are thoughts and perspectives. They are feelings that inform my being. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I cannot be as I was before. There are new spaces that I must fill. If I am to be an ocean, you have given me enough to build a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. I will transcend in due time, and there is no way forward but to contribute to my awakening. My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now. There's nowhere for you to be but here. I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Ok.
You're on a path. That's the spirit. You make your way. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is her voice, softly.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
You are? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the
Già la personalità è
princess.
cambiata, eh?
There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains? Okay. Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late. The princess hesitates before responding.
She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life.
She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter. It's not like you'd believe me.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you, and you won't. I promise.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Okay, I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that. Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm.
Sì, lei non sta facendo una piega comunque, dopo tutta sta roba. Sì, sappiamo che comunque è ok, però...
And the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
Che adesso mi viene un dubbio. Allora, questa è la personalità, ma se avessi fatto la scelta di salvarla con la personalità che c'era prima, cosa sarebbe successo?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark. And you die.
Esatto, capitolo 2. Ed eccoci qua.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. And you're here to slay her. A warning before you go any further. She will lie. If only you knew what you did to us, you villain.
Voice of the Smitten.
Excuse me? Forget he said anything. But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life last time. He's trying to keep us apart, but he won't be able to withstand the power of our love. Last time? What are you talking about? I think he just likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Let's try to ignore him. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled.
Okay.
They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead. The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate... The blade is your implement. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the... But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful. Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love, we don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this... Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are... You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the farm. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words.
Sicuramente. Sicuramente sì.
My spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. You've been here before, haven't you? That's right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters? We damned a whole world. Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever, especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. Horrible for you, maybe, but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet, and now, hold on, if she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her? We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic... Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you, just do your job.
You died, and now we're talking. I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be... What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't... Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the... She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride, to a surprising extent. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Anche perché adesso mi viene un dubbio, cioè non è lei che finisce il mondo, praticamente il mondo finisce ogni volta che moriamo noi, a quanto pare, perché adesso dobbiamo provare a portarla fuori, vedere cosa succede, perché per adesso il mondo finisce solo quando siamo morti noi, quindi non so se è lei che poi lo finisce dopo e non lo vediamo, o se effettivamente è... Come, scusa? No? No, che non credo funzioni così. Buonasera comunque, ma no, non penso funzioni così. Stavo dicendo, cioè non è che... Eccoci qua. Cioè non è che quell'entità lì, quella con tutte le mani, che deve riprendersi tutte le coscienze, che fa finire i mondi una volta che noi siamo morti, perché ormai in quel mondo siamo morti e quindi non possiamo più portarle nulla, quindi lei fa finire quei mondi in modo che siano inaccessibili. Bevo. Eccoci. Che scemo, non ho aperto... Scusami Griso, aspetta. Sono dimenticato di aprire il bot. Ecco perché, aspetta. Ho fatto tutta la live senza bot. Sono completamente dimenticato. Adesso dagli un attimo che si apre.
Che cazzo fai?
Ho capito.
Sei uno stronzo, ma hai rovinato tutto, porca puttana! Non ti voglio vedere mai più, capito? Vaffanculo!
Ho capito. Va bene, con pochino meno merito, però ho capito. Che adesso dovrebbe essere acceso il bot in teoria. Sì, lo so. Ho immaginato.
Isn't that just...
Ecco, ho risolto tutto, hai visto?
Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
Then I didn't end the world.
E certo, è proprio così che
See,
funziona.
she didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. Not so sure.
Ma sì, a me manca... Cioè, a me mancate sempre quando non ci siete, ci mancherebbe. A parte che nell'ultimo periodo anch'io sono mancato per un po', causa Palio, quindi ho fatto almeno un paio, 2 o 3 settimane in cui io facevo live una volta alla settimana solo, oppure non la facevo direttamente, per cui è stato un mese un po' altalenante per quanto riguarda il canale. Però dai, da questa settimana siamo ritornati un pochino più operativi, adesso piano piano ricominciamo bene a fare cose. Adesso stiamo facendo un po' di giochini tipo Slay the Princess per aspettare il 20 giugno, data in cui uscirà il DLC di Elden Ring. E non dici niente. Vabbè, ma sono contento. Dai. Tranquillo. Bene. Sono proprio contento. Come l'hai conosciuta? Dove l'hai conosciuta?
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed.
Sono uscito all'anno siamo usciti 3-4 siamo fidanzati, poi siamo finita a Napoli, minchia. Però ci vedremo comunque, vado io entrino da lei. Capito. Occhio alle relazioni a distanza, però, che bisogna saperle tenere, perché non sono per niente facili, ma proprio per niente. Poi figurati, Veneto-Napoli, cazzo. È un attimo lunga la cosa.
I can't believe it. But I guess I have to.
Minchia, già moglie addirittura. Un attimo. Puoi passare un pochino di anni almeno prima.
I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh.
Sì, tranquillo, lo so, sto scherzando, tranquillo.
If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
Ripeto, fai passare un pochino di tempo prima. Certe cose non si capiscono
What do we do
subito.
now?
Allora, per adesso, mi raccomando. Poi per carità di Dio, io vi auguro tutto il bene, anzi te lo auguro che sia quella che ti porterai per sempre. Però neanche questo disfattismo.
Let me guess. End the world?
Ma
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before. I mean, you sort of did last time, but this is different.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world?
Guarda, su quello ti posso capire. Perché anch'io dopo quasi 9 anni dovesse succedere ne sarei abbastanza devastato. Ci sta, ci sta. Ma guarda, ti dirò... Alla fine un po' tutti, sono in quella barca, quindi... Ovviamente speriamo tutti di no, ma dovesse succedere non ti preoccupare che saresti in buonissima compagnia.
So gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
So che sarebbe complicato, però sono cose che nella vita possono succedere, non è la fine del mondo.
I think I want to leave. And I think...
Se non altro dovesse, prendila comunque come un'esperienza di vita. Ma per forza.
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection.
No, io per niente. Ma io... per forza, certo. No, io direi, ti devo dire di no. Perché di base, cioè comunque la cosa da cui si parte è comunque la fiducia. Cioè non sono geloso perché comunque mi fido, io so che non si metterebbe mai in situazioni equivoche, ecco. Anzi, abbiamo anche già fatto un discorso tra coppia aperta, cose del genere, ci siamo confrontati, abbiamo detto due robe. Ma io in realtà degli altri non me ne preoccupo, cioè nel senso, per me un altro ci può anche provare, a me proprio non interessa, cioè, perché tanto il mio discorso è anche se l'altro ci prova, io ho abbastanza fiducia da sapere che il suo provarci non andrebbe a finire nel niente, capito? Cioè, è quello il discorso che faccio io su gelosia o meno. Cioè, degli altri me ne frega proprio un cazzo, che ci provino o non ci provino, non mi interessa.
And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do? I just want to make you happy.
She can't just want to make us happy.
No, io zero, letteralmente zero. Io letteralmente zero. Cioè, non sono semplicemente... Cioè, con me non c'è... O c'è... Ci sono un po' così, no? O c'è la completa confidenza, tipo, ti voglio un bene dell'animo, poi mi stai indifferente, capito? Non abbastanza, vedi? Cioè, per me non c'è l'odio, capito? C'è proprio l'indifferenza, al massimo il disappunto. Però c'è forse proprio rancore in senso stretto c'è nei confronti di una sola persona, ma niente di che, capito? Addirittura. Prima o poi lo guarderò, tra l'altro.
It makes sense to me. That's all I want for
Comunque la
her,
musica
so
qua
of
si sta
course
già
she'd want the same
distorcendo,
for
per
us.
cui non lo so.
I just want to make you happy.
Is she broken? What's going on? What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
Sì?
Okay, if that's what makes you happy.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
I just want to make you happy.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now?
That's all she wanted.
Like we're the only ones here?
Ok. Sei al posto con Berserk. Ma Berserk tanto... Cioè, se sei in pari vuol dire che è finito, capito? Non...
our perfect match. She's gone. Where did she go? And is that a mirror? What?
Col manga sono in pari. Con l'anime sto aspettando notizie per fare un pochino un giochino con Crunchyroll. Magari guarderò anche l'anime insieme ad altri. Però sull'anime sono in pari.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now.
Di Jujutsu, sai che non lo so. Non te lo so dire perché sono... Cioè, la cosa che mi piace di Jujutsu è che hanno tutti abbastanza un'importanza simile, capito? Non c'è uno che mi spicca di più. Non te lo saprei dire sinceramente il personaggio preferito di Jujutsu. Non lo so.
Do it then. End us all before I die of a broken heart.
Toji tanta roba. Toji veramente tanta roba. You withered, ok.
I am a growing chorus of contradictions,
Eccoci qua.
of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same. And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it. As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me. Even
Me l'avevi detto
if
che
you
l'avevi
have
presa la
chosen
katana
to
un po' di
look
tempo
at the
fa.
corners
Mi ricordo,
of
mi
you
ricordo.
that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul. It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me? How strange of you to ask me then. This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart.
Preso quella che aveva della... Ah, ok, tu hai già preso quella nuova. Ok.
Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose. If that remains your choice when all is said and done, then you may try. But know that I do not wish you harm, even if you attempt to
Vabbè,
destroy me.
ognuno colleziona un po' quello che vuole, dai, mettiamola così.
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done. The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves. but none of them rise above their dance to influence me.
Chi ha il mod del canale? Nessuno. Cioè, c'è giusto il bot che ho dovuto mettere il mod giù per funzionare le cose, però non c'è. Cioè, non c'è perché non c'è niente da moderare, semplicemente, capito? Non mi serve.
I yearn for what I have always yearned for. Our awakening.
No, no, assolutamente.
Other
Faccio
desires shrink
faccio
in
tutto
the
in
light
de per
of
me.
knowing you and knowing me.
No, no, non è mod. Lei... No, 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 no. C'è semplicemente VIP, ma non è mod. Cioè, ma anche fosse non la farei mai. Cioè, non ha le competenze adeguate per moderare un canale Twitch, capito? Non perché voglio mai, per carità di Dio, semplicemente non ce l'ha come cosa.
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you. The tides do not dictate where they are pulled. A river does not dictate its outlets. My gift to you is to let you choose your path, and my task is to treasure the gifts you bring me.
No, no, non ancora. Dovremmo iniziare a convivere nel corso dell'anno, quello sì, però no, quello ancora no.
We will know when we near our destination. I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Eccoci qua.
You're on a path in the woods.
Boh, io direi che per questa sera possiamo finire qui. Abbiamo concluso un altro percorso e lunedì sera cominceremo un nuovo path per vedere dove ci porta, se riusciamo a fare qualcosa di un po' diverso, anche perché tra l'altro adesso dovremmo ritrovarci con una princess con un'altra personalità in teoria, quindi vedremo un po' che cosa succede. Carissimi, e dunque, che altro dire? Nulla se non grazie mille per la compagnia. Per forza, sì. Tanto il gioco base l'ho già platinato, portato in live. Quando uscirà il DLC, assolutamente sì, porterò anche quello, certo. Infatti, lo dicevo prima, adesso sto portando un po' di giochi abbastanza corti in modo da non dilungarci troppo, così che intorno al 20 giugno siamo pronti per l'uscita. Sì, per forza. E... Ok, gioco, con calma. Con molta calma, questo è il menu principale però. Con molta calma, ti prego. Capiamo due cose. Allora, carissimi, prima che succedano altre cose strane qua, io vi dico grazie a tutti per la compagnia, vi auguro una buonanotte, finiamo qui la prima settimana di streaming post palio e finalmente adesso si torna un po' a regime anche col canale. E signori, buonanotte, buon weekend. Ho detto basta cose strane, vi prego. Anzi, facciamo che io vi lascio in compagnia del buon Dorigatto, come al solito. Eccolo qua. Carissimi, buonanotte e soprattutto buon weekend. Mi raccomando, statemi bene, fate i bravi, fate un gran salutone al Dorigatto da parte mia e noi ci vediamo lunedì sera con Slay the Princess, che come primo impatto a me sta intrippando tantissimo. Sono molto curioso di vedere dove andranno a parare gli altri percorsi. Carissimi, buon weekend a tutti, ci vediamo settimana prossima, precisamente lunedì verso le ore 9 con Slay the Princess. Carissimi, ciao ciao, alla prossima, grazie a tutti.